Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Full Force News Burst Live special with me, Christopher McLeod AKA Diagnostic 80, brought to you by Generals Joe's REBORN.com. Hope everyone is doing really well this evening. We've got hello to everyone in the comments already. Hello, Wilfredo. Hello, Checkpoint Alpha. Hello, Josh F. Hello, Jamelin Parks. Shug it. Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's doing really well. And everyone else that's just chimed in with messages as well. Yes, we've got a little update for you in the listings department today, and a little bit of news broke earlier when histank.com posted some cheeky extra, what they call listings, which we'll get onto in a little while. But I have to say, everyone's a little bit behind at the moment. Have you noticed? I mean, when did we reveal these listings? Got to be a couple of weeks ago, last week at least, probably a week and a bit ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And then everyone's reporting on it today as if they're new. No, we've got loads of listings. And anyway, we're going to be unlocking some of those 2025 listings as well. So yeah, in the right place if you want all the up-to-date info. Right then, let's get on with it. We've got a fair bit to get through. Okay, yes. So listings update. You may be going, oh, why have you put those two characters on the screen? Well, it's because they might have been unlocked on the listings. We might know who is who and where is where on some of them. It's not. I mean, these are updates, so obviously for the information you guys already have, it's just a few little unlocks. But we will get to see. Or you will get a few more unlocks on the old 2025 listings, and I'll go through all of the listings we have currently and just clarify any information for people. And of course, if you have any questions, then let me know. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we shall start with the 2024 leaked listings. And of course, not much has changed here. If you haven't seen the weekly yet, or if you missed the weekly, or if you're first time and you don't even know what this is, then that's totally fine. I'll just take you through the listings that we have currently for 2024. Now, everything in green is everything that's been and gone, including Jabberjaw, which is the dragonfly, which again is kind of being touted at the moment as a new code word, but it was on about 7 lists ago, guys. Keep up. So yeah, that was a while back, and that's been and gone. And very soon we'll be phasing out that green section as well, because it's it's stuff that we already know about. And then so we've still got some kind of upcoming information for 2024. Obviously, 2024 is we're only in March, for goodness sake. So if you move down that list, we obviously have the 4-figure wave consisting, or the next 4-figure wave consisting of Alpine, Iron Grenadier Bat, Iron Grenadiers, and an all up to this point unknown figure for the 4th. Which we can't say until there's some sort of name only reveal for it. So yeah, we won't be unlocking that one just yet. But that's the 4-figure wave. The next one, Elroy, Judy, Betty, and Bam Bam. Then we also know that Atlas Deluxe is Nemesis Immortal, so we know that figure is going to be a deluxe figure. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it at WonderCon, because I mean WonderCon is going to unlock a few things. We're going to have, I imagine, new name only reveals. I imagine renders. I'm assuming pre-orders to follow, because we've got that April the 4th pre-order slot on Entertainment Earth's Drop Zone. So I imagine we'll get quite a lot out of the next weekend, which is going to be a very interesting one. First time they'll have done anything like this at WonderCon for Classified. So yeah, kind of interesting to see how that unfolds. Now, so yeah, we know Nemesis Immortal. We also know that Road Pig, who has been recently name only revealed, is Highway Pet, and that means that he's going to come with an animal, but we can't say what that is yet. So you'll just have to wait until that one's revealed fully to find out what that is. But there you go, Road Pig and Pet. And then we move over to the other side. We know that the Marauder Sarge is TNS Buttercup. We had a recent leaked image of the Sarge on kind of like looks like straight out of the factory or something along those lines. But that Marauder Sarge figure is legitimate. We do have a listing for it, of course, and also with like the kind of knowing that the designation means pulse or pulse con. It's just pulse, basically pulse and pulse affiliated. Um, is what stands for. So, like, I mean, it means mystery machine, but you know what I mean. Daphne Deluxe being Starduster is a PulseCon exclusive. The Scooby VEH is a Pulse exclusive Ferret Scout, and the what was the other one? The HMS, the HMS with the Techno Viper is also a Pulse exclusive, and that was an designation. So that kind of, if you're not, if you're not kind of au fait with some of these like double letter situations, that's what stands for. So that means that Scrappy will also be a Pulse exclusive. We are assuming. And we also know, so it is a Pulse exclusive. Now, so Frankenstein, we don't know what that is yet, though. By the way, it could be, you could be looking at the 2-pack for Low Light and what's his name, Spirit and Neol. But we, again, because that's been leaked as well, the image of that 2-pack. So and that screams to me Pulse exclusive, honestly. So I wouldn't be surprised if Scrappy was the 2-pack, and then it would kind of go sort of with Marauder Sarge to a degree. Anyway, that is that particular segment. Then, of course, we know that Frankenstein Deluxe is the, well, we know now that Raptor is SDCC, but we didn't for the longest time until it was revealed that Raptor and Starduster were going to be the con exclusives. Raptor being SDCC and Starduster being Pulse Con, and that made sense with the designation for Daphne Deluxe. So kind of all makes sense so far, and all kind of, everything above board. Then we get basically a list that we just not really quite sure on. So Fred Deluxe, haven't got a clue, nothing, nada, don't know what it is. Just another deluxe figure. Very excited to find out what that would be. Then we have Whipsnake's 2-pack, which, if you go by my sort of very loose theory of connectivity, so the thematic kind of theory, this is what we would call this one, the owl theory. We'll call this one the thematic theory, where we have certain things are themed together. So mystery machine genuinely or generally, as we know, means Pulse exclusive. HB means exclusive for other stores like Target, Walmart, and possibly Amazon, almost certainly Amazon. So we know that that's what that particular situation is. Now, when you look at Whipsnakes, we do know that it is a troop builder 2-pack. We know it's not a character 2-pack. So we, like, say like Low Light and Spirit, we know it's a troop builder, so it's multiple of the same or similar things, right? We know it's a 2-pack, so it's going to be 2 figures. We don't know what they are, though. But with the Whipsnakes designation, or the code, we'll say that isn't a designation as such, that is a code word. If we look at Atlas, which is Nemesis Immortal, then we will see a very small but still sort of connected theme of professional lacrosse team names. So Atlas and Whipsnakes are professional lacrosse team names. None of the others are, which is really interesting to me. So, with that said, what links Nemesis Immortal to other things? I mean, that would be troop buildery. I personally have got it into my head that this is probably going to be a Royal Guard 2-pack, even though I don't know. So I'll make that very clear. That is just me being excited and wanting a Royal Guard 2-pack from Cobra La. I'm probably not going to get it, but that's where my brain is. So I'm gonna stay in that vicinity until proven otherwise. But Nemesis Immortal being unlocked and Whipsnakes sort of not being unlocked, I mean, I want to know who they are. Genuinely, I really need to know who the heck they are. But we will find out, I imagine, sooner rather than later, I'd imagine too. Okay, moving past Whipsnake's 2-pack, we get the HB designations, which, as I said before, are Target, Walmart, and now Amazon that we're aware of. So Blossom VEH could be Amazon or Fanmazon, but we know that Yogi is Target and Zorak is Walmart. And so far, we've been getting the odd Target listing and the odd Walmart listing here and there, haven't we? Space Ghost turned out to be the Night Force Shockwave with the Pursuit cycle. Boo Boo turned out to be a Roadblock and Tripwire 2-pack for the target for the Tiger Force. So you know we know there's a theme there. We know that's kind of going to continue, and we also do know that Yogi is Target and Zorak is Walmart. So check that. We just at this stage nothing. Oh no, sorry, I do tell a lie. We know what Yogi and Zorak are, but we can't say until they get name only revealed. So those two I do know that they are Target and Walmart and what they are, but we can't say. Blossom VEH, not a clue, not a sausage, at all. So I would we can basically kind of like tie this up with a bow to move on to the actual reveals. Now, Retro Casey we know is Cobra Commander. Oki and Azrael, not a clue. We are like again just kind of fumbling in the dark on those two, which is funny because there are some retro that we do know about coming in the future, which we can't reveal yet until again we get some sort of name only reveal thing. But when those name only reveals happen, we will fill in those gaps. So it's interesting we don't know who Oki and Azrael are yet, which is annoying, but we'll find out. We'll get there eventually, even if it's on the day of reveal, which is fine. That's also awesome. Now, the other two that we kind of have been leaked as well. We revealed Rough and Ready a long time ago, the 60th designations, the 60th anniversary figures, and they were revealed, I think, by Angry Collectors. I want to say. Was it Angry Collectors revealed? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was Jedi Jaybird, wasn't it? My apologies. Yes, Jedi Jaybird, I believe, revealed that Action Marine and Action Pilot were going to be Rough and Ready. So, yeah, that was on X, I think, on Twitter. I still struggle to call it X. It's such a weird thing, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, so Action Marine and Action Pilot. We do know a few more details about those, which are pretty cool, but we can't say, and we'll say that'll just unfortunately have to wait until they're revealed, I believe, and or leaked. I'm sure leaked images might happen as well, but I don't know. It hasn't happened that often, has it? Like the night before, yeah, but like in terms of like images from the from packaging and stuff, we've only had it with Wolf Spider, with Shadow Tracker, with Sarge and the 2-pack of Low Light and Spirit, but I can't think of many others that got that sort of reveal. Everything else was like the night before promo images, wasn't it? So I don't know. We do know. Chris, the hardest working Joe fan with Joe updates. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Eben. Sorry I'm late, guys. What did I miss? Well, kind of nothing yet, Danny. We haven't got to the fun reveals. I'm just explaining this particular listings segment, and then we're very close though to turning the page. There'll be a noise. I'd like Retro Stalker, please, says Stygian 360. It's a good shout. I mean, we haven't had a Stalker for a while, and a retro version would be significantly different. You take the Shamak away, and you'd have like a different deco, and effectively that's all you need, really, isn't it? I mean, the rest of it's pretty much sorted. With Nemesis Immortal and Wishful Thinking, Royal Guard this year, next year's SDCC or PulseCon has to be Globulus with his chariot. Oh, Talib 1980, man, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah, that's crazy to think. I would love a Globulus. So good. Has the post? We'll get to that, Chris G. I'm holding up. We'll hold up. Well, that'll be after the 25 reveals. Okay, let's move on to the actual reveals for 2025. Now, it doesn't reveal anything we don't already know, but it does unlock some of those code words. Okay. Now, I will also add. Sorry, I've got a bit of food in my mouth because I've just eaten. What was I going to say? Yeah, so stay on track, focus, concentrate. So what you'll notice on the listing, it unlocks a few. They're all the 4-figure wave unlocks, and they're all name only reveals that we've had already. Okay, just to give you a heads up. So here we go, and I'll take you through it bit by bit. Obviously, 2025. So we already knew that Xandar was Homer, and we knew that Leatherneck was Marge, but now we know that Saw Viper is Maggie, and Dial Tone is Lisa, and then we know that 2 others that follow in, again, in standard retail wave of 4 are Frag Viper and Blowtorch, Grandpa and Bart. So we've kind of unlocked basically those name only reveals. Okay. Anyway, so we know so far that Xander, Saw Viper, Leatherneck, and Dial Tone are going to be a wave of 4, and then the next wave will be Frag Viper, Blowtorch. We don't actually know who Smithers, Flanders, Chief Wiggum is, so we don't know the rest at all. We haven't got a clue. And then what's interesting as well, I will say it one more time, the recent revealed listings that went up like today, which aren't like revealing anything because they're all the ones that we've already had, don't cover all of the listings that we have on screen right now. So I don't know what everyone's playing at the moment, guys. Keep up with the listings. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Keep up with the listings. Oh, Danny Carter, thank you so much for the super sticker that just says super sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if it's supposed to show something like a sticker of some description, but I appreciate that, Danny, very much. Thank you so much for the super chat or super sticker. We really do appreciate it. I wonder if it shows up differently actually on YouTube than what I see it as. And that's probably why it's all a bit confusing. I can't actually forget that. Anyway, what are we saying in the comments while we're here? Dalton needs a giant AirPod accessory. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Just like a giant AirPod, like a big one that doesn't actually fit in their ears, but does in yours. Hopefully, Whip Snake's 2-pack will be a Cobra Soldiers packed out with extra weapons and bazooka, says Joe. It could be. I mean, again, I don't know what they are, so everything's up for, it could be anything, honestly. Love the Simpsons code name, says he knew to be. I know, like, they're awesome, aren't they? I am like interested though in the group that commenting, watching at the moment, who hasn't seen these listings yet, because this is like maybe I want to say this is like the 6th or 7th episode in a row that I've utilized these. We've looked at them on the weekly. We've looked at them on the first time they were revealed. We've had an update, and this is the second update since then. I'm interested to know who are seeing these listings for the first time, not just like the unlocks that I've done, but just the listings in general. I'd be interesting to know, and at least now you know where to come for your listings. Hoping Road Pig is bigger than Gung Ho, says Russell. Yeah, actually, that would be really cool. I kind of feel like Road Pig needs to be on a different buck. They need to do something brand new with that, and I think they might end up doing that. Chris, it's been far too long for an accidental slip up. Please, cesspool reveal, says Stygian. No, I'm probably going to slip up at some point and say something stupid. But yeah, the other thing, there are other reveals actually on this list, which I'm not sure if anyone's noticed yet. Has anyone else noticed the other reveals on this list? Okay, so if you go back to the last update or a couple updates ago, I said that Sal Pet was a new code word that had kind of appeared. In actual fact, it was Salvador. So the BB Salvador is a BB Salvador pet set. Okay, so that is going to be, so Salvador Pet was the Sal Pet from last episode or the couple episodes ago. All right. So forget Sal Pet because that's Salvador Pet. They're the same thing. Check. Now, the other thing we found out was that TT, the TT designation, I'm going to say, I don't think people have noticed what the second reveal is. And that is that TT means pulse or pulse con. So it's very likely that the Arthur Deluxe on that TT is the pulse con exclusive, and the other TTs are just pulse exclusives. So that should give you guys an idea of what we're dealing with. Like before it was wasn't it? That was pulse exclusive and pulse con. Now it's TT. Kind of makes sense. They like to keep the double, letters going, what have you. And obviously they're the tick. It's the tick. We know that, of course. But in terms of what they represent, not just what they're jokingly referring to them as cartoon characters, or cartoon television, that kind of thing, they are they do mean something. So the TT, literally means pulse exclusive or pulse affiliated, which is pulse con effectively. So Arthur Deluxe in that list, because if you look at that list of TTs, you've got Sewer Urchin, Terror, American Made, Arthur Deluxe, Mancow, and Red Scare. And previously, if we go back, Daphne Deluxe turned out to be the PulseCon exclusive. So it's just making it, to me, feel like that's what's happening again. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if Arthur Deluxe was the PulseCon exclusive. We don't know for certain, but we certainly have a good idea on that one. Then the other reveal that, again, I don't think anyone's noticed yet. I don't think I've seen anyone in the comments say anything. We know that Legacy means 60th now. So the Legacy designation that's on the RR Tommy listing means 60th. So that will probably be the name going forward. I think we kind of surmised that, not an official capacity, but we kind of surmised it from like guesswork and an educated guess. But like the kind of Legacy thing, we kind of thought was going to be 60th, and it did turn out to be the case. So that particular listing, we'll have to wait until there is some sort of leak or what's the word, name only reveal, what have you. So yeah, that's literally the situation. So the three things to tell you about the new 2025 listings are that we've unlocked a few more on the left hand side, as you can see. We know the first 4-figure wave is going to be Xandar, Saw Viper, Leatherneck, and Dial Tone. It doesn't really give us any. It gives us a bit more information, obviously. And then we know that the second 4-figure wave is going to contain Frag Viper, Blowtorch, and 2 others, and so on and so forth there. So we know that Frag Viper and Blowtorch are those. We know that Dial Tone and Saw Viper are those. Those are what we've unlocked today. The other news out of this is that Salvador Pet is the Sal Pet listing. So Salvador is a figure and pet. We know that TT means Pulse or PulseCon. We are assuming then that Arthur Deluxe will be PulseCon. And we know now that Legacy, the Legacy listings, whenever we see Legacy now, we'll know that means 60th anniversary, or the new name for the 60th anniversary. Okay. Right. I think that's pretty much it for these listings. Now, it came to light earlier today, courtesy of His Tank, who posted the news, that there have been 2 random Selfie series listings pop up. We can also confirm that we did have those as well, but we weren't allowed to do anything with them. So we can now, because they're out elsewhere. So because of that, here we are: G.I. Joe CS Selfie Series Cobra Officer and G.I. Joe CS Selfie Series Storm Shadow. Now, I will add a little bit more color to this, because when we received the information that these existed as listings, we were surprised, because just a few days prior, it had kind of gone real quiet on the Selfie Series front, aka disappeared, aka sort of cancelled sort of situation. So we were kind of, we just assumed at the time, as well as not being able to kind of like reveal these to the public, we definitely what's the word, we couldn't reveal them to the public, but we definitely just assumed they were cancelled anyway. So we thought, well, if and when this ever kind of appears, maybe we'll talk about it then. But like for now, we'll just leave it, because it's not something we can discuss. Lo and behold, His Tank all of a sudden have them. Bop, there they go. So okay, we can unlock a little bit more, give a little bit more information around what happened. And again, like I said, we got these, but it was after the fact of the Selfie series sort of like disappearing into nothing. Not long after as well. We're talking like a couple of days. And so we just assumed that they're cancelled. They could very well be the case. It could have been planned as the next phase of Selfie series, and just before they canned it in, these kind of went into some sort of development kind of phase. Oh wow, thank you so much, Hydrus, for the super chat. I see these listings in my sleep. We've seen them so much, Chris. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Hydrus. Appreciate that. And thank you so much for the super chat. It's really appreciated. Trust me. Thank you very much. And by the way, that is probably the most adorable avatar I've ever seen A squirrel in military gear. That is just amazing. So thank you so much, Hydras. We do really appreciate that. Um, yeah. So I don't know. It's a confusing one. Now it's one of two things, isn't it? It's one of two things. It's either these were planned prior to the cancellation of the Selfie series and they're no longer going to be happening. And sorry, not and, or two, the other option is these guys are going to relaunch the next phase of the Selfie series, the Selfie series 3.0 or what it would be now. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know. My where is my heart on this? Or where not my heart. Let's break this down. Where do I think, if I were a betting person, what would I put my money on? I would probably put my money on canned, planned and canned rather than planned and relaunched. Could be wrong, but I'm going to say I think it's probably not going to see anything of these going forward. The other interesting thing that popped up, and shout out to Corey Cantalupe on our Instagram page who commented on this particular image that I posted earlier. And obviously ex Hasbro, now kind of currently with Skeletron and doing all sorts of cool stuff. But shout out to Corey, and he kind of commented on there. He said that's he said, interesting. I wonder how they would deal with matching skin tones, because with Storm Shadow, you've got exposed arms. Even if you do like a all right, let's put it this way. If this was going to be lined up with, say, like a version 2 Storm Shadow, for example, like if that had been a situation where they were doing a version 2 Storm Shadow, then even if they had a version 2 Storm Shadow to do this with, like hood, and then you put your head under, like on it, with the hood up, but not with the mask, obviously, then you'd still have, with the sleeves would be longer, but you'd still have exposed hands, wouldn't you? You'd still have that exposed kind of skin. So I just assume that with that, if they're going to do Storm Shadow and they're going to do matching skin tones, they're going to have to do them with they're just going to have multiple arms or hands as well with different skin tone options. That's the only way I could see them doing it. Could you see them doing a long sleeve Storm Shadow, and would that look any good? Or maybe, hang on, would it be like a movie style Storm Shadow where he is literally covered from head to toe? Yeah, I wonder if it was a movie Storm Shadow. I don't know. I mean, it could have been. Well, it probably wouldn't be, because obviously the Snake Eyes that they did for the Selfie series was just a regular Snake Eyes, wasn't it? But I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. Hard to say. Anyway, I have to kind of like, again, like my I guess it is my heart. My heart is probably telling me this is a planned and canned scenario, so it probably doesn't make any difference anyway. But it would have been interesting to know what was going on and how they planned to do something with Storm Shadow over like a mass market. Lots of different skin tones effectively is the issue. But yeah, I guess they could just give him long sleeves and gloves. And I guess that's probably the only way round it. Like, if it's the only part exposed other than the face and the mask, and that doesn't matter when you're getting a Selfie series figure done. So I don't know. So that's the Storm Shadow aspect. As for the Cobra Officer, I mean, that's a no-brainer, isn't it? And I wonder if they would do like well, I don't think they do like, I'm just trying to think if they could do something like a removable mask, but I don't think it would look good. Like, you'd just be the head exposed with a helmet on top of it with no mask. But maybe they would do like an alternate head. But then I don't know if that's like a reet pain in the butt to churn out two heads for one, figure. Same for, I mean, Storm Shadow is similar. He's mainly, you've got the eyes showing. So I don't know. Would it be worth doing two heads for both of them? Probably not. Anyway, I personally think it would have made a lot of sense to incorporate Steel Core into this GI Joe wise, and then have your Cobra Troopers, your Vipers, all of your classics that make sense from that kind of perspective. Making yourself Snake Eyes, I don't know. I was never really like feeling that idea. I liked my Selfie series figure actually. The only thing I don't like is the hair, because by the time 2.0 came along, I'd already had my Selfie series, and my hair wasn't available on the options, which really bugs me. My hair, like normally when I'm not wearing a hat, is your classic short back and sides with a quiff. So it's like, it's not like, I've got some sort of weird haircut that nobody had. It was like everybody had that hair and probably and a lot of people still do. So like, yeah, I was surprised that didn't actually make it into the haircut cut. Anyway, anywho, that is pretty much it for the Selfie series. What are you guys saying in the commentaries? Cobra Officer would have been a big hit as a Selfie series. Yeah, I think Fluffle actually, it would have been pretty cool, wouldn't it? Popping your head on a Cobra Trooper. Yeah, they should have started out with the officers and grunts so you could selfie yourself as a grunt or Cobra Trooper. Then you're not just putting faces on main characters. I kind of feel that way, Justin the Anderson. I do actually feel that they should have done something more generic, troopy. Like Steel Core would have been so awesome. So awesome. I'd have been like so excited. In fact, I've got a Steel Core figure now. I might just put Mied on that now. I think they did Snake Eyes and Scarlet for reasons of obvious reasons, because it sort of what's the word, like they're popular characters for the male and female. And then what is interesting is they're both male figures as well. Well, you can probably do like a female Cobra Officer. Maybe the Cobra Officer was female in that case. That's another thing I don't even think of. Maybe it's a Valkyrie. I didn't even think of that, and that makes more sense because obviously Storm Shadow would be the male representation, and the Valkyrie probably would have been the female one. But wouldn't it make sense to do a male officer and a female officer in general anyway? That would make it kind of more. That would make it make more sense to me. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. This is why I think it's a planned in can scenario. Genuinely. What we saying? Origins movie Storm Shadow to match movie Snake Eyes. Yeah, but the Selfie series Snake Eyes is the retail version, the standard classified one. It's not the movie one, is it? It could be the Winter Storm Shadow. Yeah, I just talked about that, RKW. I just mentioned. Oh no, I see what you mean. You mean as in Arctic Mission? Yeah, sorry, I'm an idiot. Yeah, would that be something you'd want? Unless they, the leg articulation is so poor. I feel like if they improved that and gave us a Selfie series and they gave us that figure that way, like an improved version of that figure, people would be so mad, wouldn't they? Probably. Movie Storm Shadow is 750 at BBTS today. That's crazy, Ryan, isn't it? Could probably just paint the arms like on the Televiper. Yeah, I guess Tristan, that's something they could do. Flaffle says, anyone get the TCIN numbers for Retro, Duke, Scarlet, and Recondo? DCPI only help in store. No, I'm sorry, I don't have that information, and I haven't seen it necessarily floating around. I've seen DCPI floating around, but I haven't seen the TCIN stuff. Yeah, you wouldn't get a masthead on the Selfie series. I know, Scott, but I was thinking two heads. I was thinking an alternate head for both, not just one with mask on it. That would be crazy. The Cobra Officer with an unmasked head makes me think Lieutenant Claymore, says White Vegeta. Yeah, absolutely. Ed says, yeah, generic troop builders, not main characters. That would have been the way to go. Stygian says Crystal Ball with Pet Owl. That'd be so awesome. That would be so awesome. If I ever got a Selfie series figure, I would use myself as the unmasked head for barbecue. Nice one, Ryan. I like it. That's a good way around. Find a buddy who looks like an unmasked barbecue and just get them to do a Selfie series figure. And there you go. It's a very expensive way of getting in an alternate head, but it's better than getting one cast and made. And, you're literally getting it done and it's perfectly fine, right? Oh, nice. Rachel says, I need to figure out which one of my friends looks most like Lieutenant Claymore or Scarface and then get them to do the Selfie thing. That's the way forward. If that is that these are actually happening. And like I said, we haven't got a clue on this one. Like, I will tell you if I know something, and we can't say. And I will tell you that, and I have done, and I've done it on the previous listing. graphic. There's a floating hair there in my eye, in my way. So in this case, we don't know if this is happening or not happening. We just assumed it was planned and canned based on the time period that we found it and saw it and stuff like that. Maybe the Arctic mission. Yeah, we just talked about that as well. Yeah, he had sleeves. Chris, you think it would be possible we get different body types in the classified line, like not the always fit figure, like a heavy set dreadnought figure would be cool? Actually, Mark P, that is a really good shout. You kind of like my instantly when you said that, I thought of the Blob from Marvel, and then I was thinking how cool a character in the dreadnoughts would a guy like that be, like a huge dude who's like all like well, he's not muscle, but you know, he's huge like that, like the Blob. And you know, he's just like a bruiser. He's just massive, like, you know, tall as well. I think that'd be so cool, and that they could really have some fun with that as well, like make a really cool dreadnought figure. As far as as far as I can see it, it's always going to be your kind of like uh physique that, you know, you just expect with the soldiers and the bad guys and stuff. But definitely I think you can delve into that with the dreadnoughts. I think the dreadnoughts are the place to go for that sort of variation body types and all that kind of stuff. I think that's a good thing to do, or a good thing for them to try and get into the line. And it would be like a new character as well, because I can't think of any figures like that. Big Lob's a good shout because you can make him super tall and really lanky, quite skinny and tall, like you know, like a Wembanyama or like a Manute Bol. I'm going back to what I know in the NBA, and that is going back a bit in it. My goodness, but yeah, you can make Big Lob. You can make Big Lob. Either way is dirty sounding, in my opinion. But you like, he's got a big lob. You know what I mean? You can make him very tall and kind of scrawny, much like the movie, and you know, make him stand out a little bit in that kind of group. I think that'd be really cool. Classified dad bod, yes, please. I need Sky Patrol with Vac Metal involved somewhere somehow. I think Vac Metal's not going to happen, but they've definitely got a very cool and very close silver sort of chrome paint thing that they use now, which it can be pretty good. But yeah, I think Vac Metal is a thing of the past now. I don't think we're really going to get that on Hasbro stuff. We might do. I don't know. I'm just assuming that's the case based on the fact that it's very, isn't it like the process is very like toxic and like it's almost makes a lot of waste basically. Is it possible that the figures with the SS designation will all be Selfie series ready? Danny, again, that's like leaping ahead with the assumption that this is actually happening. And no, I don't necessarily think that's the case. I don't think they're all Selfie series like listings. SS just means that retail wave. I know what you're trying like saying. They should all technically be Selfie series ready. You should be able to take the head off and put it on any figure. So maybe that would be the case going forward. Maybe that's something that they would have gone like, yeah, we should have done that. Why didn't we? I guess I guess to some degree, because the heads are utilized on multiple figure bases, Marvel, Star Wars, GI Joe, they have to make a head ball kind of situation that works for all of those, right? So that's why the Selfie series has to be its own sort of size thing with the neck balls. But I kind of feel like there should be a way to make those head joint, like the neck balls for all figures across the lines, to like make sense to get like together with it on the low. Do you know what I mean? But I see where the issues kind of appear with that. That wasn't my suggestion, Stygian, the crystal ball with an owl. Someone else said it up there. I just thought it was hilarious. Was it mine? Oh, sorry, was it mine? Because that was my suggestion. Hilarious. I think. Did I say that on the weekly? What did I say that on? I feel like I have said that in the past. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. Where's Big Lob going to fit? Says Jedi Ben. Anywhere he wants, I reckon. Although that height, it's going to be difficult on shelves. Make a beloved character like Armored Cobra Commander, but give him a pot belly to tick everybody off. That would be kind of fun, actually. I think that'd be great. Um, Dreadnought Big Mac, who is a semi truck driver, confirmed, says Rexiv85. Brilliant. Anyway, Super 7 does VAC metal. Do they? Or is it, like I said, is it that silver paint that they've developed? I think I'm not sure if they. I know what you're saying. I'm not sure if it's the VAC metal process we're all like we all know and love from back in the day. I'm almost certain, having spoken to Brian about this recently, that it is a new like a new kind of paint style. They might have done VAC metal on some older stuff though, so you could be right on that one. But in terms of Hasbro, we're talking not Super 7, slightly different situations there. Oh, Silverhawks, was it, Scott? One-offs. There you go. That's why. That's why. I used mounting putty to fatten up the gung-ho body I used as the buck for my selfie head, filled in the abs and chubbed me up. I like that, Chris. That's a good idea. Here's me trying to get looking like Xandar topless, and you're like, no, just customize the figure, and you're already there. That's what I should do. Just put just put some sculpting putty, a lot of sculpting putty on one of these fit bods, and then done. With a classified dad bod, we could get a Selfie series fridge. I should stay away from the fridge. That's why this is a problem. Wraith and Overkill are well needed in the line. More Iron Grenadiers, more Ray Interceptor. Interceptor? Target. Yeah. Do you mean Interrogator? Anyway. Steps Toy says, as a brown guy, I'd bet Storm Shadow isn't going to be feasible for me. Well, like I said, I think they might, like, if, again, we don't know this is actually happening. Like I said, I think I'm in the camp of this was planned and canned more than happening. But if they were to do Storm Shadow, I'm sure they would come up with a way to skin tone match, or they just give him long sleeves, which is actually probably more likely, honestly. Xandar for Christmas, Ryan. It's Xandar for Christmas, but Xandar for New Year's gives me more time. Danny says, I just recently found out that Cross Country is from the town I live in, so I'm now rooting for a figure of him. Oh, I don't know if they'd ever, that would be a difficult one, I think. I don't know if they'd probably do Cross Country, honestly, what with all of the kind of connotations attached to his like look and vibe. That said, I still love that figure, and the Havoc is phenomenal. I think if they were to do a Havoc as a HasLab, which, oh god, could you imagine? Like if they did that next year, I'd be well into it. Then I think they could probably do it. They'd probably have to make some changes though. But anyway, but still, I still think they could do it, but they'd have to maybe make some changes there. Anyway, I think that's everything for the listings. Let's have a quick. Let's just revitalize our minds on what we know already. Name only reveals, of course, that's what they look like at the moment. So we're currently we've just done Let's Talk Classified Saw Viper. Next up is going to be Let's Talk Classified Dial Tone, which I'm working on currently. Well, not now, but was beforehand and will be afterwards. Then we'll do Frag Viper, then we'll do Blowtorch, and then we'll do Road Pig. And by that, well, I say by that time, there are going to be more name-only reveals probably over WonderCon. So I will be adding to this graphic very, very likely this weekend. Oh, Annihilator. Sorry, Necro, you were talking about. Not. I see what you're saying. Yes, Annihilator was, yeah, cool, awesome. Not Interceptor. Got it. So yeah, there you go. That's that. You're right, Danny. They did release Copperhead without his vehicle, but like I said, I think they'd have to utilize the Havoc as a HasLab for the ability to do cross country in the line. Is what I'm getting at. I don't think they'd want to. I don't know. It's up to them at the end of the day. But I don't know what they're thinking. but you have to kind of like put yourself in their position with it and see what they, you know, you know what I'm getting at. You know what I'm getting at. So yeah, that's your name only reveals. Nothing's changed. We might even see some digital renders for some of these buggers on over WonderCon. You never know, or we'll see new stuff out of nowhere, and that will help us fill in some gaps on the 2024 listings, hopefully. But yeah, I don't know how in depth it's going to be. In the past, where they've done MCM, I think it'll probably follow a very similar MCM vibe, where they do little segments for each, obviously, and then in that we have had in the past name only reveals, we've had digital renders, and we have had product promo images for pre-orders. Well, that was a lot of P's, wasn't it? Revealed as well, like a Mutton Junkyard, Metalhead, Big Ben, Valkyries, etc., etc. We've had lots of things shown off in all sorts of different ways, shapes, and forms, and name only reveals as well. I believe Mole Rats, Shadow Tracker, they got name dropped at the first MCM they started doing this at, and Big Ben and the Valkyries were shown off as digital renders that day. And then on the last MCM, although it was really difficult getting footage of that, really difficult. Like I didn't see the actual panel in the end. It was just what was reported from the panel. That was weird that they didn't, like, everyone stopped recording. It's like they were recording everything else and didn't record the GI Joe segment, and I was like, what is going on? Anyway, by the by, I expect WonderCon to be of a similar vibe, and we'll probably get some stuff. Yeah, hope they name reveal the HasLab at WonderCon. Todd, I can't see it, mate. They'll probably do that in June. Again, it's like when you are just looking at the patterns of play, the patterns of progress, what happened last year, and so on and so forth. I would expect them to do a proper build up for what the next HasLab's going to be on the lead up to Yojo June, or at the start of June they'll do the kind of promos for it, and then bang, you get the big reveal at the end of the month. That's what I expect them to do. Plus, we've got a Star Wars thing happening at the moment, so yeah, there's going to be an element of overlap, I guess, right? What are we in? No, we'd probably get away with it. Star Wars would have been and gone by the time June comes around. I'm sure. 45 days is it usually? Anyway, so I'm expecting, my expectation for WonderCon is maybe 2 name reveals and maybe a couple of renders, and if not, I'm almost certain we'll see product images for promo images for pre-orders following that, because we've got that April the 4th pre-order thing following it. It might just be to show off the ferret promo images. It might be to show off retro, beachhead eels and snow serpent for pre-order in April. It might be any of those, is what it could be. We'll see though. MCM put up a Faraday cage when they were doing reveals. Is that true, Scott? No, I know you're joking. I know it's a tongue-in-cheek joke, but still, it did feel like that. It did feel like that. But yeah. Anyway, you know what they might even do? They might even reveal some progress on the Dragonfly. That might be what they end up doing with WonderCon. But we know there are going to be classified reveals, because it says in the blurb they're going to actually be revealing new Cobra team members joining the Cobra Classified series. So yeah, we know it's happening. We don't know how much, but we know what this team's like. They love giving us reveals like all the time. It very rarely stays in their pants, does it? Anyway, that's your name only reveals currently. Will probably grow a little bit more by the weekend. Digital renders. Again, we are waiting for the Dragonfly updates. I think we'll see the figures sooner rather than later, certainly before Yojo June. Come on, has to happen before Yojo June. Even if it's just a little cheeky update video at some randomly on a Friday or something, or a Thursday, just out of the blue and taking everyone by surprise. I'd love to. I just really want to see what Nightfall's Ripcord, Crazy Legs, and Glenda look like. I just think I'm so excited to see those figures. I'm really excited for that. I'm more excited for the Dragonfly than I was the Hiss Tank, and the Hiss Tank's phenomenal, and I love it. And I was absolutely, pants down all over the place. But the Dragonfly, just, man, that gives me vibes. It just gives me vibes, absolute vibes. And again, huge during the Action Force weekly and monthly comics for me as a kid growing up, and just flipping through and seeing the Dragonfly and Wild Bill all the blooming time. Yeah. Anyway, also we've got, though, like I already mentioned it, Retro Beachhead, Eels, Snow Serpent, and of course the Cobra Ferret with Ferret Scout. I would, again, if I was a betting man, I'd expect those to be the pre-orders for the upcoming April the 4th one, like Entertainment Earth Drop Zone drop. That's what I am expecting. Could be wrong, of course, and it could be more, could be less, could be one of them, could be none of them, could be something completely new out of the blue, punches in the face with it. I don't know, but the way things go, it's usually the case, isn't it? Anywho, we then have the unofficial leaks, which catch me by surprise every now and again. Snowcat and Thunder Machine. We have heard that from multiple, like 2 different sources now, like not connected. So I feel like, I wonder if the Snowcat, now it's getting to the point where the Snowcat and the Thunder Machine feel like, yeah, I'm definitely on the kind of like close to confirmed stage now. I can't obviously confirm because we don't know for sure, but like I said, hearing it from 2 different places, and it's like, okay. And yeah, that other place could have just got it from the first place. That is a possibility. We won't know because we don't know where how the information travels necessarily. But like I said, from my experience in these things, when you start hearing it from multiple places, that is like not from that first place. You know what I mean? When you start hearing it from multiple places, it's like, okay. And then, of course, we've seen more Mad Marauders, Low Light and Spirit, and the Sarge. Leaked images, of course, of those. I really want to know what numbers they are. I think the Sarge is 129. I think that's what it's very hard to see on that image because it was taken with a potato. But like, you can just about see the side of the box, and it looks like it says 129, but we don't know for sure. But it's likely that. So I don't know what number that would make those 2 lads, Low Light and Spirit, and Neol. Maybe like 130. Don't know. Anyway, they had the Dragonfly on display at SDCC last year. Yes, they did, Todd, and it's friggin' amazing. I'm talking about the figures, though. I mean, we've got there's a lot of things to update us on. Progress of the actual thing itself. Is it still on track? All that good stuff. But then also what those 3 figures look like, because we've only seen Wild Bill and the Dragonfly. We haven't seen those 3 yet. We've only seen them in render form. And as Crazy Legs goes, we've only seen him rudimentarily sketched. That's not even true. It's a cracking bit of art, but it's like, it's a piece of art. It's not rendered necessarily. It's not a render of the figure. It's just a drawing of Crazy Legs in Night Force gear. Anywho, and then of course we know that Iron Grenadier's Bat is coming in the next 4-figure wave. We know that Retro Cobra Commander is coming in the next Retro 3-figure wave, and Heart Wrencher is almost certainly confirmed after the list that also had Starduster, Nemesis Enforcer at the time, and Road Pig on it have all been officially announced. So I'm pretty sure Heart Wrench is going to be close by on that one. Yeah, so there you go. They're your unofficial leaks. And that is everything for today. So what I'll do is I'm going to go backwards in time, and we'll go back to this screen, and we'll just do a quick recap of what we know. So like I said, we did a little recap of 2024 and what we know so far. Nothing's really changed on that one that we haven't talked about already. Just a few things to note. We know that Road Pig comes with a pet, but we can't say what it is. We know that the Blossom VEH is Amazon or Fanmazon, but we don't know what vehicle and figure it will be. And everything else is pretty much as you were on there. 2025, we unlocked a few more classified figures with their code words. So Xandar, Saw Viper, Leatherneck, and Dialtone will be the first wave of 4 figures, and Frag Viper and Blowtorch will be involved in the next wave of 4 figures in 2025. We also found out that Sal Pet, that was on the other list previously, again, we just heard Sal Pet, we didn't know Salvador was that, but it was. So Salvador Pet is that particular listing on the top right there. And we also know that TT means Pulse or PulseCon exclusive. Yeah, Pulse exclusive or PulseCon exclusive. And we think that Arthur Deluxe, based on that information, will be the PulseCon exclusive. We just don't know what they are. We know we know the basic information. We just don't know what blooming characters or vehicles or whatever it is. We don't know what it is or what they are or whatever the situation may be. We also did find out that Legacy is the new name for 60th, or at least in the coded listings, Legacy means that continuation of the 60th. And that's what we know. Everything else, like I said, is as you were. And of course, the Selfie series listings, we can confirm that we also saw these a while back, and we just thought they were planned in canned scenarios, and we couldn't report on them, but we can now because obviously they're out there and they've leaked and they're out there. But we don't know what this means. Does it mean that the Selfie series is planned? This was the next wave of Selfie series that was then we're not doing it anymore, or is this are these going to be the figures that that launch the version 3 of Selfie series? We don't know. We have no clue. So at the moment, like I said, my heart is resting, or it kind of landed on, that makes no sense, but my feelings on it are that they're probably planned and canned. That could be not true though. And that's everything, I believe. That's all of the news for you. That's the updates for the listings. What we're going to do now is I'll just transition and then we'll bring it to a close, and I'll answer any more questions before I go. A bit professional today. It's not like me, is it? We usually like ramble on and for like 3 hours. I ramble on for 3 hours. Man, Arthur would have been a perfect code name for Raptor, winged accountant. That's a good point, Scott. But yeah, never on the nose, is it? It's never on the nose. Road pick comes with a pet rock. I heard it from a dude that heard it from another dude, says Chaz. Amazing. Pet rock would be quite funny, actually. What else are we saying? For army building, they need to do a Hasbro 2-pack system with some builders like Basic Bat and Ali Viper in classic colors re-release, says Jedi Ben. Yeah, like it's funny that we've had like 2-packs and multi-packs and stuff like that, but I'm surprised it hasn't really been every single troop builder we've seen. I'm surprised they haven't done it like that, or done it as well as the regular, figure reveal or what have you. You could do like a multi-pack and just bring the price down for 2 figures a bit, so it wasn't like you could buy 2 multi-packs rather than 4 separate figures, and it would cost a little bit better, a bit more kind of a bit cheaper. But yeah, that's not really how things work anymore, is it? You don't really get deals. They're gone. Ben says his HasLab had the HMS and the Fire Team. Emily explained these are support products to complement the HIS. Any guesses on Dragonfly adjacent sets to go along with the newest HasLab? Ben, that is a cracking question, and opens up my speculative underpants. What? I would probably say, I think personally a jump pad would be perfect, right? This is my hope. A jump pad that's big enough to be a helipad for the Dragonfly. How dope would that be? Like, and you could do other things, like you could have other like little dio pieces that come with it, and a figure, of course. But you could have other dio pieces that come with it, like Grand Slam for a start could be involved. But you could have I don't know, like a fuel refueling kind of like what would it be? Like a big canister with like a hose that you plug into like the Dragonfly to make it to like have it refuel or what have you. I don't know how it works, but like things like that. And obviously you'd have to do the research on all of the different things. And I would have done that if this was a monthly episode and we were talking about cool things that your Dragonfly could come with. That's given me an idea. Maybe this turns into a monthly episode next month. But yeah, I think a jump pad that doubles as a helipad for the Dragonfly would be wicked. And again, have other elements that would work with it, like a refueling station and some other stuff, some other bits and pieces. I don't know. I can't think of anything on top of my head. Maybe like something that mounts the missiles on, like allows, because you're not going to be lifting a lot of that stuff. That's going to be like machine lifted or whatever, like a weapons transport sort of thing, like the Sky Striker has something like that, but not as big. That just holds big missiles and that weapon system, so that they can use it to kind of. I just think it'd be really cool for like that sort of thing. Anyway, that's what I would like to see. In terms of like other things, like a 3-pack of like a fire team sort of thing, Sky Patrol. Is that too much? Is that too much? I think I've got a feeling Starduster might tie into it a little bit, and maybe Starduster comes with something like a jump pad. Maybe they do that, because Stardust is pretty cool to be done. Actually, the fact they're doing Starduster makes me very excited, and the fact that that's PulseCon exclusive makes me really, really excited. What else? Paratroopers, yeah, it's a good shout. Actually, like Free Fall and regular Crazy Legs wouldn't make sense now, would it? I mean, it would, but we'd get regular Crazy Legs and regular Ripcord in the retail waves going forward. I don't know. There's loads of cool stuff you could do. Sky Patrol for one. I mean, that's an untapped resource right now for classified. Darren says, just caught the tail end of this stream, so I'll have to watch it after I get home from kids' track meet. Good luck to your kids and their track meet. I hope they win. I hope they win gold. I dig a 2-pack with 2 swap figures parts for Zap, Grand Slam, and Zap Short Fuse. Yeah, kind of like a build your own whatever you want Steps toys in that one. Yeah. I hope Road Pig comes with a kitten. Oh, that would be so bloody adorable. Comics E Cafe says, also, I was thinking the other day I could definitely see a basic Cobra Viper update for retro with sleeveless arm guards. Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely. Comics E Cafe. Steps Toys says, Chris sounds nostalgic for those Dollar General reduced price figs. Man, they were so cool. I love those. The Dragonfly is going to be a crown jewel piece. Yeah, it is. Multi-packs are figure price times 2 plus 10%. I know. That's what I'm saying. You don't really get that kind of value. I mean, they throw other things in like blast effects and what have you to kind of bulk it up. But I don't know. I'd like a way to army build that didn't decimate your entire, wallet or your finances. Travis says he's a 24-hour Joe news station. You just tune in whenever you want and you'll get your fix. It does feel like that sometimes, actually, Travis. I'll go check out Travis's quick kick review on YouTube. A toy kind of mood. Go check it out. And I shared it on Twitter. Haven't got to the other places yet, Trav. Sorry, mate. But yeah, go check it out. It's awesome. I'm almost afraid of 2025 going to be a spendy year. I mean, aren't they all now, Joe? My goodness. I want Blades and Gaucho to compliment Glenda. Rachel, you are singing my songs. Yeah, Steps Toys says, we survived last year. It doesn't seem that bad in comparison. Well, it's probably about the same. It's just not crushed together. They've spread it out over the year this time. 100% getting the tactical battle platform for all the folks that bought 4 Dragonflies. Could you imagine that, Talib? Oh my god, I'd be well up for that. A tactical battle platform would be insane. They sort of are building out the ecosystem with Airborne and Doc with his stretcher. Yeah. Doc with the stretcher, definitely. And Airborne, of course. Yeah, a standalone figure that complements the Dragonfly. Absolutely. Towable Skyhawk, says Ryan. Yeah, I love it. Hopefully we'll see the Fang helicopter next year. The Fang, Joe, that's something that I am surprised I haven't seen yet. I'm surprised I haven't seen listings for it, or someone say, oh, that'll be another figure vehicle, because that is a doable figure vehicle. And I don't mean that in a Kitty said sort of way. That is one I could see them doing, Kitty said. The deck of the flag. Could you imagine, Nictimus? Anyway. Oh, Todd C says, if the dimensions are right, I plan to use a wrestling ring without the ropes and posts as a helipad for the Dragonfly. I like that, Todd. That's a good idea, actually. And you get like a little bit of a spring action as well. Oh, Joe Barrett thinks the Red Scare, the one that was one of the listings, might be a Crimson Hiss, mate. That might be a stretch, but my goodness, that would be cool. Night Force Crazy Legs and his twin brother, Regular Crazy Legs. Brilliant. Chris, you need a breaking news text crawl on the bottom. I do, don't I? I just wish they would make all the netball. Yeah, I agree on like, okay, minimum, not just like the Selfie series kind of side point there that we talked about earlier, but in general, the classified series should have the same neck joints across the board. That should never change. Like, it's like, get it right and then stick with that. That's what you go with. That's how you drive. Because otherwise, what's going on? Like, why is that a problem? You know, why can't you have heads going on other figures? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Get that minimum minsies. Anyway, wish I'd already been collecting classified before the Dragonfly campaign ended. Gonna have to pay the penalty. Oh, Blitz. I'm so sorry for you. Where is Sabretooth, Chris? Says Stygian. Well, Sabretooth is with Super 7 at the moment. I could definitely see them doing that in classified, though. I could definitely see them doing what Sabretooth is in classified. Just saying, Stygian. Now I'm running to Target to see what they have. 3-pack of green shirts with full loadout and interchangeable accessories, says Death Valley Machine. Hello, Death Valley Machine. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Green shirts actually would be wearing a green shirt. Would be a really good thing, I think, to do. Like basically a 3-pack of retro grunts would be kind of fun, but then give them loads of gear. You never know. We might get something like that in the 60th. If we get in the Action Soldier and the Action Sailor and so on, maybe they do some sort of like, you know, like a green shirt grunt sort of vibe for another figure with loads of gear, so you can make lots of different options with them and stuff like that. That might be a way of them doing it. I think I'm just going to have the kid build me a landing platform out of Lego. That's pretty cool. I need to build a Hydro bot packed in with the next waves. Yeah, do that. Yet another we were spoiled by the 25th POC rock era thing, unlimited head swaps. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just received Metalhead, great shelf appeal, though he'd be a dud, but super impressed in person. Oh, that's good, Stephen. Yeah, nice one. I think he looks great. I'm quite excited to get him eventually. Anyway, Mark P says, Chris, you still have an amazing hat collection. I need your side business selling hats. Love it. Yeah, thank you, mate. This is my favorite of all my hats, I think. It's this Snake Eyes one because it's got the visor, it's got the snake eye. I know it's the movie one, but it's still really dope. And it only cost me $8. And I got 2 of them. One of them I use like more regularly when I'm sweating in it and stuff, and it's kind of a bit more beaten up. And this one I keep pristine and clean and only put it on for special shows. But yeah, I have got a lot of hats, and I don't really wear enough of. I mean, I do. I've been wearing a lot of. I do wear them. I try and change it up every day. Actually, I even rocked my vintage trilogy Star Wars hat the other day, didn't I? On one of the shows, which had Luke, Leia, Han, and Vader on it, which is pretty cool. I do like that hat. Anyway, everyone's just telling me they got their figures. All right, Jeremy, you got your Techno Viper today. Well done. I'm glad everyone got all their figures. My God, that's been like, I've been so jealous seeing like everyone get, because it's been like everything's been dropping this weekend, hasn't it? It's like Techno Viper, Quick Kick, Big Boa, retro figures, Duke, Recondo, Scarlet. I've seen now in Target. Or no, not personally, but you know, we've seen them in Target. It's just nuts. So anyway, crazy pants. Anyway, guys, that brings us to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Been a lot of you on the episode today. Got to discuss all those kind of new unlocked listings, so we know what's coming for some of it. There's still a lot to do. Still a lot of work a lot of detective work to do, but we will be doing it, and we will be updating you when we can. I expect, like I said, I expect WonderCon to be quite interesting and busy. So what's going to happen next weekend is it's looking very much like it's going to be Saturday. We'll do the weekly in the morning, and then I'll do a news burst live following on from what comes out of WonderCon, because I think that panel is like 3 Pacific, which is like 6 Eastern. So yeah, it's going to be a little later in the day that we get that information. So I'll probably go live around, depending on how long it takes me to do graphics and get all the info at hand. Probably about 7 o'clock. We'll go live on Saturday night with that. And of course, we've got lots to come this week. We're going to have to squeeze in a live monthly, which Adam, Pat, and myself are going to be doing. We're going to kind of taking a slight detour from Classified and putting the focus on Super 7's O-ring line. And we're going to be talking about what we would like to see in the O-ring from Super 7. What we'd like to see in the O-ring. Gross. But you know what I'm saying. And we'll be doing that as a live episode. Hopefully, we've just got to work out the availability. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but we will let you know in advance, as much advance notice as possible, probably like 20 minutes. And I imagine I may be able to squeeze out one more Let's Talk Classified. So we'll probably squeeze out Dial Tone this week before all the updates on Saturday. So hope you've had a wonderful time joining me today, talking about listings updates and Selfie series possibilities and all that kind of good stuff. Like I said, I think that's it. Stay fresh, cheese bags. And as always, after 3, you know what to do. 1, 2, 3. Full force. Laters. That's it for this installment of the Full Force News Burst. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time, and as always, full force. Make sure you get involved with the discussion by liking, sharing and commenting on these videos, and as always you can keep up with the show after listening by following on X, formerly Twitter, @The Full Force, liking the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Full Force. We've also added a brand new Instagram, so check us out there as well, @The Full Force Podcast, and if you would like to contact the show you can message us on any of those platforms with feedback and questions. We also have a Patreon page, so if you want to show your support for the show, see your name up in lights on these videos, or enjoy exclusive bonus content, then check out patreon.com/The Full Force Podcast, or click on the link on any of the posts this podcast appears in. Full Force.